In this episode, we look at very simple things you can do in 5 minutes per day to start changing your life. Get excited because this is Tiny Leaps. Big change, big change. Welcome to another episode of Tiny Leaps, Big Changes, where I share simple strategies you can use to get more out of your life. My name is Greg Clunas, and in this episode, we are looking at simple things you can do, simple activities, simple tactics that you can take every single day in order to start the process of changing your life. So this episode is really for that person that wants to start making progress, right? They want to start moving forward. They want to find some path to getting the things that they've always wanted, to accomplishing those goals, right? And if that is you, if that sounds like you or someone you know, this episode is going to help massively, because at the end of the day, if you don't know where to start, you've got to start with the smallest thing you can. And that's what this episode is going to cover. So I'm super pumped about this. Make sure you share the episode with anyone in your life that you think would gain value from it. And before we jump in, let's talk about today's sponsor. If you're a fan of this podcast, you know that I always try my best to take care of myself. Producing this show leaves my schedule pretty dang busy, and it can take a lot out of me to create 7 new episodes every single week. That's why I'm so excited to tell you about something I take pretty much every day that helps me stay on top of my game. They're called Super Grapes Soft Chews from Human. You can think of Super Grapes Soft Chews like delicious Starbursts that leave you feeling energized while simultaneously promoting healthy blood flow and blood pressure. I've been taking them every day for the last few weeks now, and let me give you a little life hack. If you wait until your 2 or 3 p.m. energy dip to take them, you end up pushing through that time feeling alert, energized, and ready to get more done. Super Grapes Soft Chews are a delicious way to give you an energizing boost. They're packed with heart-healthy grape seed extract that protects against oxidative stress and promotes normal blood pressure. They also promote energy efficiency by supporting blood flow, and that energy you get is natural. So there's no crash and no jitters. So experience the great tasting, heart-healthy boost of new Super Grapes Soft Chews for yourself. Get your Super Grapes Soft Chews at supergrapes.com/tinyleaps and get a free 30-day supply with your first purchase. This offer is only available here, exclusive to Tiny Leaps listeners. That's supergrapes.com/tinyleaps. supergrapes.com/tinyleaps. All right, so let's talk about things you can do in 5 minutes a day that will help you start changing your life. Now, are these things going to change them by themselves? No. This is the beginning. This is a long journey that you're going to be taking, and you just have to keep going. You just have to keep going, find the moments that you can, and make it happen. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is meditation. Back in episode 499, we talked about the purpose of meditation, so I recommend you take a listen to that episode to sort of better understand why you should be thinking about meditation. But once you're sold on it, once you are ready to start, here's what I recommend. Put a timer on your phone for 2 minutes. Find a comfortable chair to sit in. Don't worry about having to sit cross-legged or any of those things. Just sit in a chair like normal, 2 feet on the floor, hands on your thighs, like by your knee area, in a comfortable position, good posture, right? Then close your eyes, and in closing your eyes, all you have to do for your meditation is just breathe. So inhale, exhale. Just breathe. That's it. Like you breathe every other day of your life. Now, here's the difference. When you are breathing normally in your life, you don't notice it. In your meditation, you are focusing on it. That's the only difference. That's it. By focusing on the breath, you give yourself a reference point to continuously come back to, because as you meditate, your thoughts are going to try and pull you away. They're going to try and get you to just stop focusing. Right? And that's what happens in our day-to-day life, and we don't realize it. Our thoughts are constantly going. We're taking in so much information. So what we need to do is give ourselves a point to lock on to stick with. And then as those points come up and they pull us in a million different directions, our job is to just go back to the breath. Now do that for 2 minutes every single day. Don't worry about the 30-minute meditations. Don't worry about like, oh, how will I find that? Just 2 minutes. 2 minutes. It can be done. You can, after you're done with your commute to work, sit in the parking lot for an extra 2 minutes and just do it in the car. It's that basic. Do it on the toilet if you need to. Like, I don't ultimately care. Just find that moment. It's 2 minutes. 2 minutes out of 24 hours. You can find it. Don't give me that excuse that you can't find it. You can. 2 minutes every single day, and you'll start to find that not only does meditation become addictive, but you are also better in control of managing your attention and managing your energy throughout each day. And that's going to serve you wonders as you go on this personal development journey. Now, the next thing I'm going to recommend is 5 minutes of stretching. Now, I know that sounds kind of wild, right? And it doesn't have to be 5. You can do another 2 minutes if you'd like. But stretching daily is the kind of thing that feels a little bit silly when you're younger, right? A lot of my audience is that 25 to 40 range. And during that age range, like maybe stretching doesn't feel as important. Maybe it's starting to feel important, but it's not something you have the habit of doing. But as you get older, as you age, it's going to become more and more important. And by the way, you already know this, right? I'm not hopefully not telling you anything crazy new here. I'm just encouraging you to start actually taking it seriously. Maintaining your mobility and your flexibility as you age is one of the most powerful things you can do to develop and give yourself a healthy elderly life, right? Being flexible as you can maintain, giving your muscles and your body and your bones the stretches they need to remain in good health. That's going to do an enormous amount for you as you get older. In addition to which, it will also reduce your chances of injury when you are active, both when you're older and right now. So taking the time to stretch every day, while it might feel like, oh, I just don't have the time for this, like there's a million other things you could or should do or whatever it is, I recommend that you start. I recommend that you build it into your life from now. And it's very simple to do. So I do this as soon as I wake up every morning, right? I don't even bother worrying about like fitting it into my day. I get up, I get out of bed, and I stretch. That's it. That's part of my like getting up routine. And by building it there, I make sure I get it done, but it also allows me to get my body moving again after sleeping all night. If I've been curled up and I'm sort of like not really moving all that much all night, this allows me to get back into my body and it feels really, really good. So that is a phenomenal way to not only preserve your health long term and give you a life that feels better in the long term, it also is a great way to start your day and get back into your body and feeling what your body feels like so that you can make choices around the food that you eat and the exercise that you take and so on and so forth based on what your body actually is feeling and what it wants. So I recommend building that into your life. One of the next things I recommend is to read for 5 minutes. Now, it doesn't have to be personal development. It doesn't have to be like a thing you learn. It can be anything. Read whatever you're interested in. That could be blogs if that's your thing. It could be books. It could be nonfiction, fiction, whatever it is that you're interested in. The act of reading every day engages your mind. And here's a fun little hack or tip, I guess. Reading is very similar to meditation in the sense that there is an internal struggle for controlling your attention. Right? When you are reading a book, it's very easy to start spacing out and losing yourself in all of the different thoughts about your day, especially if you're doing it first thing, right? You might be wondering, what's for breakfast? What am I going to have for dinner? What projects are due today? What do I need to talk to this person about? Like, what's going on with the kids today? Like, whatever you are thinking about, it's going to pop up as you are doing this reading time. Your job is to keep bringing your focus back to the book, back to the words. Make sure that you recognize what you're actually reading and are taking something away from it. And just like meditation, that act, that struggle of losing control and then bringing it back, and losing control and bringing it back, and losing control and bringing it back, that process, that practice is difficult. But that by itself can be incredibly worth it. That by itself can move you forward towards the goals that you are working towards. In addition to the knowledge and the experience and the learnings that you gain from the actual books that you are reading. So I hope these were helpful. These are very simple, very quick ideas that you can add into your day in order to start the process of changing your overall life. And I know it feels like, how will doing 2 minutes of meditation result in changing my life? Here's the secret. It's about the habit. It's about the momentum. It's about starting the process, because you cannot change if you don't start. And starting is honestly sometimes the hardest part. It takes a lot more energy to get something started than it is to keep it rolling. So get started, keep working, and focus on doing as little as you possibly can. I know that sounds bad, but do as little as you can so that you're able to actually continue doing it, because that little will grow. You will start prioritizing more time for it. You will start finding more time for it, more energy for it, once it becomes something that's built into your life and built into your identity. And by the way, I'm not saying you need to do all three of these. Pick one. Start somewhere. It doesn't matter which one. Just start with one of them, build it into your life. And I think that over the next few months, over the next few years, you'll start to see massive changes in the direction that your life is going. Thank you so much for tuning in. I've been Greg Clunis. Be sure to click subscribe wherever you are tuning in today. If you are not on the YouTube, head over to youtube.com/Greg Clunis and drop a comment down below so that I can hear from you. I'd love to connect and hear your thoughts on this episode. And with that said, remember that all big changes come from the tiny leaps you take every day.